First things first, we need to define what cinematic is. So, according to Google, cinematic techniques are the methods a director uses to communicate meaning and to evoke particular emotional responses in viewers. Shot a single piece of film uninterrupted by cuts, establishing shot. That is exactly what's our objective for today. To make your film to actually able to communicate meaning and to evoke particular emotional responses in viewers. Making a film or like a video to be cinematic will always depends on your own preference, especially on the mood that you're trying to put into the whole film. Some call an old-looking movie cinematic. Others would say that chungda transitions are like cinematic, you know. So in this case, I would explain it based on my own preference and what is a cinematic movie for me is like. So here are several hacks to make your movie a lot more cinematic. Hi everybody, so currently I'm back with another tutorial on editing techniques, I'd say, because I've been receiving more requests in doing tutorials like this because I think also it could be very helpful for you guys. So yeah, today I'm gonna provide you several hacks that you can use to really make your video looks a lot more cinematic. So as always, I'm using my Windows Share Filmora 9. You can check the description box below for the links and the code that you can use to obtain a discount on Filmora downloads. And I think it's a very good app. If you haven't seen the color grading tutorial that I have in my previous video, you should totally check it out because it will totally be a part of today's tutorial. But without any further ado, so let's start. So for the first thing first, I'm gonna really encourage you guys to invest on several lenses that has a very good depth of field. This one, I was using the focal length of 50mm and it actually creates a very good bokeh behind. You can see how it actually creates a very cinematic effect of things, and you can really exchange the bokehs into the background behind, so then it will look very cinematic as how you would expect it to be. As for this one, this footage right here, this one is a lot. This one was created based on like a larger depth of field, meaning that there are a lot more areas being focused on. As you can see, I think I was using around like I would say around 18 to 25mm at this point, or I think it was 24mm at this point. So yeah, that was that. So I really do encourage you guys to actually look for the kind of lenses that could help you to create cinematic effects. I used to use the 50mm f1.8. I don't think it's actually that expensive, because you can only get it for like, you could always get it for like 1 million rupiah, and others are like the 40mm, 35mm on f1.8 to f1.2. The lower the depth of field gets, the lower the number of f actually gets, you will obtain better depth of field, meaning you will be able to actually create more bokeh for the background. So yeah, that was that. That is the first thing that I really encourage you guys to do. The second one is how you should always learn about lighting. I think I took all of these footages at like the golden hour at like 4 p.m, meaning everything was done when the sun is right like in front of us, instead of like doing it right above us at like 12 p.m. or so. I don't think that's like the best method to actually like create a video, because you will only get and like earn more shadow right below your face, and they will just look horrible, and you just don't want that. So pay attention to lighting, and I think my next video is going to be totally about lighting, because lighting is such a complicated thing to learn, but once you get the concept, you will, you know, really know how to make cinematic effect in your videos. So I guess that's like the core thing about it. But if you want to learn it more, you can search it on Google and things like that. They all provide tips on like creating a dramatic lighting, because it's important when you really want to create a cinematic video. So the next one, we're moving on to the post-production of my videos. That would be editing, and today I'm using, as what I said previously, I'm using the Filmora Wondershare Filmora 9, and I'm going to create this whole video, 30 seconds video, as good as I can. And I'm gonna really show you how I would normally just create like you know, a cinematic look of a video. So first thing first, as you can, if you guys actually watch my previous video, you would know that I will always choose the soundtrack first. Today I'm using Clair de Lune by Debussy. If you don't know who he is, he's actually a pianist, and I love his songs. I love classic songs. I love classicals because they're just very, very calming. Excuse me. Yep, that's the sound. So it totally depends on your own preference. If you want to make it very bubbly, very cheerful, then choose something that could reflect that from your soundtrack. But today, because I'm just like the most melancholic person you could ever find ever, so I'm using a classical song because I want to create a dramatic effect in my video. So these are not in orders actually. So what I really suggest you guys, when you really want to edit videos and like you're very confused of putting it in orders because you're just, you know, you took the footages without any storyboard and stuff like that, you should learn how to arrange the wide angle footages to be combined with the close-ups, because that's just how it works. You know, you don't put like wide angle shoots all together. You don't put all of the close-ups to piled up together, to be piled up together. You don't do that. What you do is just you know, switch them around. So every time you put one wide angle shoot, you would continue it with a close up, and then so on and so forth. And that's just how we're going to do it today. So I think I'm gonna cut this down. I'm just gonna drag it, okay, up here, and I'm gonna match it to the media. Okay, we're gonna do some close-ups. Okay, I'm gonna do this one and this one. I'm just choosing things randomly actually, because I don't think it's like it matters that much when it comes to like unscripted things like this. I think it's best to just first of all just put it all together, and then you'll get to the point where you'll see what you need and stuff. So for the editing hacks, you would know that I would normally color grade my movies, right? So I think the color grading would go to the other part, meaning that you should just totally check out my color grading videos, because I completely explain step by step there using the same app here. So yeah, if you really want to check it out, you can basically just click anywhere that has an I, not an I, but like literally the alphabet of I in the screen. You can click that, go to my color grading videos, you will find more information there. And today, so that is exactly one of the hacks, is to always color grade your movies based on the mood that you're trying to put in the video. The next one is to actually do some slow motion in the video. Now slow motion can work either way in like stabilizing your video and like making it look way more cinematic. Okay, so first of all, I'm just gonna like lower all the volume because I didn't want to. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna do some slow-mo, so I'm gonna right click on this one. Gonna do speed and duration. And the speed, I think I'm gonna reduce it until like, let's say 0.5. Okay. Okay, 0.5. Okay, this one I will cut it here because that's where the beat actually ends. So, but I think I will actually slow it down a little more. Okay, just a little tiny bit. Like I would set it to 0.40. Okay. I need it to be a little bit more slow, a little bit slower actually. Okay, let's see. Everything is actually lagging just because like it's not rendered yet, so you're going to see the end result later on. I think this one actually needs a little bit of like stabilization. So we're going to like do the editing, the whole editing of the video here. As you can see, we have the stabilization here, and then we'll go stabilize and put stabilize on. It will take some time to like analyze and things, but it's totally worth it. Just wait for it because it's going to make your video looks very good. So I finished the analyzing part. As you can see, it has been smoothened by the level of 10, while I would usually just increase the number because I don't think it is enough to actually like only smooth it out by 10. So sometimes I would just increase it by 30, but for this specific footage I would I've like checked it out and it was really okay at that part, and with like the number of 10. So I would normally adjust my needs to every single footage here. So normally with things like this, as you can see for this one, it's very suitable to actually use the slow motion effect here. So I would normally put it here and in any other footages that I consider as something that could work with slow motion effect. Because in Filmora, I think it's very effective because you can adjust the smoothness level by yourself. It's not anything complicated. You just have to adjust it in accordance to your own needs. And okay, the next step that I'm going to explain here is to use a letterbox. Now, what is a letterbox? Some people might be very skeptical about it because they don't think that a letterbox actually makes your video looks very cinematic, but for me at least it's just the best thing. So we're going to click from the cropping symbol right here, this crop and zoom adjustment will just pop out, and I would normally choose the 21:9 ratio. I think that's the best ratio if you really want to make it look very cinematic and very film-like. So I would adjust it probably around here because I really want to like you know, like let the other girl be seen in this footage while I really want to focus on the main actor here. So this one is okay. Okay, let's see the result. It looks very cinematic, as you can see, right? And what is really amazing about this cropping is that you can adjust it in accordance to your own need, meaning that you can just drag it up or drag it down a little bit, and you wouldn't have to worry or like do it manually as how you would normally do it in the cropping feature in other editing apps. So I guess this one is very useful. So I'm just gonna crop this one also for 21:9. Okay, that's that. Then I'm just going to like So I'll be right back because I need to color grade all the things. I also need to play with the slow motion effect, the stabilizing effect, as how I've already demonstrated to you guys previously. And then, you know what the point is? Just to have fun. It's like how you imagine a perfect movie would be in your mind, and that's just simply how you edit your videos. Because for me, I don't think what's good for me will always be good for other people, but I think my tips for you is to always find and discover new things that you can find. For example, you can like do some cropping and like to zoom in several parts that you want to really show in certain footages, for example. And other tip for me is to always choose your soundtrack wisely, because if you really want to post it in social medias, then you would have to make sure that one, they don't have any copyright, and second one is to always adjust it with the mood that you're trying to put in the video. And always pay attention to the soundtrack when you're trying to cut your videos into several parts, because you would have to listen to the beat and you would have to listen to when you should really cut the part, as you can see like from this one. And those are some basic things you truly need to understand and you truly need to know if you really want to make a cinematic footage. And this app right here, guys, I am actually sponsored by this app, but honestly, when I found out how useful Filmora is, I'm not even lying when I review it to you guys and say that it is very useful for beginners, and it's a lot more understandable than other apps that you can find in video editing, even iMovie or the Final Cut Pro. So yeah, I'm just being really honest. I'm not honestly trying to like discredit any other apps. They're good the way they are. They're just, you know, way more suitable for other people, I think. But for me, I think I would totally choose this one. And for the color grading part, I guess you just have to check my other video for it. And I'm gonna put the whole movie right in the end of this video. Also, I hope my tips could be really useful for you guys, but if you have any other questions regarding my editing techniques, you can totally drop it down in the comment below. I would try my best to reply it. So yeah, I hope you really do enjoy my video and find it helpful. I hope I can also see you guys in my next video. Bye!